Hello, folks. How are you? Kristen here. I'm in Rio Vista. So I am at the local Rio Vista Museum. I have lived in Rio Vista for about 8 years now, and I have never been here, and I'm really ashamed to admit that. So let's go in and let's see what it's all about and learn some history about Rio Vista, the Delta, and everything else that went with living here on the river. So join me. I love the way they sound though when you type on them. They actually let you know you're hitting a key, unlike today when you use your phone. There's so many times when I don't know them, even if it is on vibrate. It's all open like that.
Silver.
Well, that's cool. Oh, Letterman jacket. That's cool. Look. 1917. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not cool. The school burned down, but that was all that was left. Love the flag. That's cool. Wonder if that was from the school. The school's shut up. Rio Vista Transit. That's cool. So this husband and wife were the local blacksmith, and they lived where the current museum is located now. Really interesting. And whoever this Kristen Meyer is, I've seen her name in here a few times. Look at all the old medicine bottles. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice collection.
Rhubarb compound.
Rhubarb. Oh, I see it. Rhubarb. What would you use that for? Mixture of rhubarb and soda? Interesting. Look at that right there. Brown mixture compound without the opium. 19th. Wow. The historical town of Rio Vista. Look at the parade, the 4th of July parade in 1910. All the dirt roads. What is this? Eyeglasses. Everything's from like the early 1900s. But the old shoes from 1900s is like the shoes you would see on the Titanic. I'm talking like this. Wow, that's interesting. Look at my shoes. Look at their shoes. They're actually kind of similar. Huh. Occupy baby. So you're learning about the history. So much history. All the different headlines from around the world. Is this like peace?
World's Fair
Peace. What? What?
California World's Fair.
Oh, we've been to where the California World's Fair is at. So, this right here, Chance, this was one of the stones I found out on our property. It was like, it's very similar to that. Had a hole right through it. It was very more similar to that.
Probably a mortar.
Oh, and that was blacksmithing. That's cool. And that's the earthquake. Is this the earthquake that they're talking about in the Embarcadero? Mm-hmm. Let's see, Daniel. That's cool with all these old papers. Oh, what's back here? Oh, cool. All these little, like, projectors. Camera. Oh, cool. Old rotary dial. Oh, this one's got a crank on the side.
Giant current.
You guys know our
This old radio. Oh, that's cool. Black Victorian gown with blue rosette trim. Oh, people were so tiny back then. Look how pretty that is. The red goose shoe.
Goose.
Huh. I don't know anything about this. I feel like I should Google it. And I also want to push the button, but it's like, don't push the button. But I want to. Oh. I love that photo. You can just picture ladies all dressed up, sitting on the riverboat. 1930. It was called a fire grenade, and it was like, well, the first fire extinguisher, and it was just filled with a solution of like salt water and other chemicals, but they would just like throw it at the fire like a bomb.
I've seen that on TV.
Oh, that's so cool. Crafty. Guns. 1880. Holy crap. That's an old gun. Well, it looks really freaking old too. That's pretty cool.
The egg scale is cool.
A piece of wood from an island called Wood Island that doesn't exist no more. It was removed from the Sacramento River when the Corps of Engineers did the extensive reclamation work on the river in the 1920s. Really cool. What's up with the egg scale? Oh, that's how they were able to classify whether or not an egg was large or not. And then the weight of an egg tripped the large lead. Oval egg was classified as large. Another old record player. Let's go through the doors. Oh, cool. Look at this old buggy. I gotta step back. It's an old Studebaker. Holy crap. Oh, that's pretty cool. So there's family lore behind this Studebaker. The dad, or the man who owned it, used it to go into Rio Vista to fetch the family doctor so that his son was born. Cool. Smells like crayons in here. These are all like old butter churns. Butter churn, cheese churn.
That's a cheese cutter.
Milk can.
With a big blade.
Oh. This looks like a giant piece of cheese. Oh, kitchen table. This looks like what was found in... So I guess a ship at one point, the big bridge that's right out here. I'll show you when we go by.
1967.
He said 1967, a big cargo ship because they come through the San Joaquin all the time. That's why it was built. But it hit the bridge. It was foggy day. It miscalculated. It got the lights confused. It was supposed to go right and it went left. Something like that. And it hit the bridge. And it took out a big part of the bridge. But I guess no one was hurt miraculously. Oh, there's the damage. Oh, I'll be dang.
Tore part of the road right off.
Whoa, yeah, no kidding. Wow, that's a tough boat. All this old equipment. I just love that they have an old broom closet because of the significance of who built it and where they got the supplies from. If you are locals who live here and you have family here, yeah, that's going to mean something to you, but we don't know who these people are. But that's cool. Now, what in the name is this thing? Some kind of plow. This thing is named the Fresno Scraper, and it's just it was used to, and the need for more efficient means of constructing canals and ditches on the sandy soil. So a guy came up with the Fresno Scraper. Oh, cool. Oh, look at this cool little stove. Like in that shadow. That's awesome. There's an old blacksmith's drill. Oh, that's really cool. All the different horseshoes that were like made. All the metal that was, oh. This is for some kind of What is this for? Is this for like the tomatoes? Is that what that is right there? Sorting conveyor for tomatoes, I think. This place is pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff in here. So there's that door that I stood in front of during my intro. There's that door to the outside there. I almost gotta come back here for a second time because it's about to close, so we don't have much time in here. Grease pump, that's cool. What is this? Donated by the Rio Vista Chambers of Commerce. Remember to visit Humphrey, the humpback whale. Oh, I think at one point, don't quote me on this because I have a really bad memory unless I just read it. But I think at one point there was a whale who was, hey, maybe you remember. Wasn't there a whale that got, like, he got yeah, he got stuck in the delta for...
Probably nothing draws human sympathy like a vulnerable animal, an injured bird, a little kitten in a tree, or apparently a 40-ton whale. Rescuers and the concern of millions. But is that enough to save Humphrey, the humpbacked whale? Good evening. I'm Charles Gibson, and this is Nightline. For almost 2 weeks, whale experts have tried desperately to coax Humphrey the whale back to sea and safety. We'll talk tonight with the federal official heading that effort and with one of the world's foremost authorities on whales.
Yes, indeed, a dramatic attempt to drive Humphrey the humpback whale out of the delta and back to the sea was attempted today, but the flotilla of boats sent in to confront the whale in the narrow delta slough couldn't get the job done.
Well, Dick, Humphrey remains once again in Shag Slough tonight. This is the exact same place where he's been for nearly a week now. This bridge that you see behind me over Shag Slough is the bridge that some say separates Humphrey from his freedom. It is also the location where just hours ago, Humphrey squared off with those trying to save his life. About 2 hours behind schedule, the flotilla arrived. 6 boats carrying Coast Guard and marine mammal officials sailed up Shag Slough past Humphrey. Once at the end of the slough, each boat dropped a pipe into the water and the clanging began. The drive to force Humphrey 1.5 miles upstream and through the bridge was underway. A helicopter overhead tracked the progress, and within 45 minutes, Humphrey had been driven to within several yards of the bridge. It is there where a tense drama was played out.
Start banging, we want to get him through,
Humphrey repeatedly approached the bridge, and at times it even appeared that he started through the narrow pilings. But at the last second, he diverted his course. As the boats closed in, Humphrey became more agitated.
He's up on the bank. If his land while he's up on the bank on the east side. Roger that. Whale boats are neutral. Stop banging.
The boats backed off, but moments later returned for another try.
Coming this way. Start hitting him. He's heading towards us. 5, he's right in front of you. Keep hitting.
But Humphrey failed to go through, and the boats left for the day. There are a couple of different thoughts right now, one being that maybe there were some old pilings under this bridge, which was just built a few years ago, and it may be that those pilings are blocking his path back out to freedom. Officials say that he showed an awful lot of anger today and a lot of activity. Of course, when somebody's chasing after you, I guess you probably would.
But biologists decided a week in the freshwater inlet might hurt Humphrey too, and decided to use a scare tactic. Banging the pipes transmits low-frequency underwater sounds designed to scare the whale downriver. But Humphrey simply refused to swim under a small bridge and was clearly irritated by the sound.
Okay, let's back up. Everybody back up.
But the irritation was temporary, biologists said. Remaining in the freshwater was worse. So after dredging the river bottom to make more room for the 45-foot whale, rescuers tried again and succeeded.
Let's go, baby, let's go! Okay,
scientists thought Humphrey was finally heading home, but Humphrey had other plans.
In 24 hours, everyone went from absolute euphoria to a pessimistic resignation. He is near Decker Island tonight, well back upstream. Willie Monroe with the big letdown.
Morning, Humphrey was almost back to the inlet where he began. Biologists attached a radio transmitter to keep track of him, but it didn't work, and they plan to attach another. This past weekend, Humphrey's pattern has been moved downstream during the day, swim back upstream at night. Today, scientists said they were frustrated. So this evening, officials have decided to suspend all efforts to move the whale, deciding both they and Humphrey have had enough, at least for a while. Ken Kashiwahara for Nightline in San Francisco. Humphrey the humpback whale kept cruising up and down the Sacramento River today, still about 40 miles from the Pacific Ocean, still refusing to go home. Like all intelligent mammals, whales migrate south for the winter. In the Pacific, it is an annual trek from Alaska to Mexico or Hawaii. That's what Humphrey was doing earlier this month when he made a wrong left turn, turning east under the Golden Gate Bridge. There, on October 11th, he was spotted basking in San Francisco Bay, frolicking among the freighters. Experts were baffled. Normally, humpback whales never get lost. So they tried herding Humphrey back to the ocean. Scientists gave chase in boats and helicopters. But the wayward whale kept wandering up a river instead, getting stuck on a sandbar at one point. A tugboat was called in to help nudge him off.
Looks like we got him turned the right direction, maybe. Which direction is the right direction? Towards the ocean, I hope.
But it was the wrong direction. Whales have an acute sense of hearing, so scientists tried playing underwater sounds of a killer whale. That didn't work either. Neither did sounds of soothing music. The meandering mammal kept meandering upstream. Whale experts began to wonder why. Finally, after a week of behaving like a salmon swimming upstream to spawn, Humphrey settled down in a narrow inlet 60 miles from the ocean, and scientists decided to leave him alone for a while. By now, the wrong-way whale had become a river phenomenon. Thousands flocked to the river banks. The whale even wandered into classrooms, his tale chronicled in song.
So swim, you whale, to the ocean, swim, you whale, to the sea.
Marine biologists have been frustrated by Humphrey's tendency to lose ground. The pipe-banging herding technique is working. The problem is they have to stop after a while.
We don't have a way to contain him at night. Unless he stays where we put him the night before, there's no point continuing the next day.
They are also afraid that repeated herding will cause the 40-ton mammal too much stress. Efforts to monitor and herd the whale have nearly exhausted the $50,000 allotted by the state and federal governments. The cost would be even higher if it weren't for the many volunteers. Private contributions for this effort have been offered and are encouraged. But with the animal's unpredictable behavior, no one is certain just how much it will ultimately cost to save the whale. In Rio Vista, Willie Monroe, Channel 7 News, tonight.
Huh. Yeah, for like a good month. Well, yeah, it shows right there. For almost a month, I got stuck on the Delta. And, oh, look there's his little tail. Back in 1985. Well, that was before I was born. Oh, that's really cool. I wish we were living around here when that happened. Actually be able to drive across the bridge, because that's the bridge that we take to come into Rio Vista. That's the bridge that got hit by the ship. We take it. I come across it all the time. It would be cool to actually look out the window and see a humpback whale. This was the old mail cartridge, or cartridge, cartridge? Cartridge? Wait, what? How does it say? How do you say? Carriage? I apparently have a hard time with words. The old world delivery carriage. Look how tiny. Everything back then was smaller though then. I mean, things. Oh, look at it. It says Pony Express on it still. That's cool. There's an old washing machine tub. Wash your clothes in this tub. Wring them out. T Ford flatbed pickup truck. That's pretty cool. Along with a pear branch, because that's what they grow around here, pears. Holy crap. That just looks like asparagus, which would be about right, because I think that's what they first grew around here. Oh, it is. Some of the local farmers, the Italians, when they first moved here, asparagus is what they first grew. And then they later went on to like tomatoes and squash and pumpkins. That's cool. That's all their military and Highway State Patrol. Rio Vista Rams. It looks so old. Cool. Look at this old barber's chair. Wow. Imagine coming up and getting your hair cut. One of these. Pretty fancy, actually. It's a nice big seat. That's a pretty big seat for how small people were back then. Rude. This is a place you don't want really burning down. Look at all the archive stuff in here. River News, Herald and Isleton Journal. 1999, 1994, 2000, all the info on this town resides in this little room. Hey, there's the whale. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen... Lost whale captures a nation. Poor Humphrey. I'm so glad he didn't last that long in here. He was. Look at this old book, like planner book from like a dry cleaning business here. That's so cool. A lot of the stuff was donated by the locals of the barber chair. The guy's in it. Cool. Oh, this is a really cool museum. And holy crap, what is that? Wow. Some kind of huge rake for harvesting something. It's called the Devil? Oh my god, if that rope gave. Ooh, Final Destination, your butt right into oblivion. Oh, look at this old freaking... I'm having a hard time today with words. You know, one of those things. High chair, but it's on wheels. It's cute. Wreath of eggs. What the heck? Well.
A real phone, so I have a phone that works even if the power goes out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's my home phone. So
Right.
my
I don't
rotary
remember
phone's
seeing
back.
any of this stuff.
It's
So you still have the old number?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, you know, because actually, for Frontier, it's my dad. I've never, because they would not guarantee me. So stupid. They would not guarantee me that I could have my same money. So, and that's well, I got about a week ago, but I don't, not too much anymore.
So they kept it.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So Frontier is like, so I always have to remember. So when I have to call, I was like, yes, I broke down. This is my to deal with something, and for my dad, and And I was like, and I'll be honest, kind of
What? Starlight Exhilarator. It says early facial massage machine. So you just, you can see her with it on her chin. Like, ooh. Oh. Lady shoe stretchers. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this quick trip to the Rio Vista Museum. It was quick because we came right at closing. But there was a lot of stuff to see here from, it seemed like everything was in the era of when the town first opened in the early 1900s. Cool artifacts to see about Humphrey the whale, the fire extinguisher bomb, really cool. Plus there was so much more. So I guess go check out the local museums in your town to get to a better feel of your town. I don't know. Anyways, I will see you all later. And remember, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, if you like to travel like I do, we have something in common. Bye.